Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about my own personal top 10 tips for helping you have a successful commercial diving career. If you want to know more, stick around. Welcome back to the channel if you're a subscriber, and if you're not already, you know what to do. If you like the content in this video, feel free to give it a like as well, that'd be much appreciated. So usually I try and film commercial diving industry videos around water at least, or around the commercial diving industry, but because of the current lockdown situation, you've got my living room. So anyway, let's get stuck into it. My first tip for being successful in the commercial diving industry is you cannot be afraid of isolation in cold, dark, wet spaces. That is a key ingredient to what you'll be doing in this industry, and if you can't handle that, this might not be for you. The people who are successful in this industry are the ones who have overcome the psychological boundaries to put themselves in uncomfortable positions. Together with that, you need to assess your level of claustrophobia. And this should be done before you actually decide to go down this track of becoming a commercial diver. Now, you do eventually overcome these concerns, these feelings, this uncomfortable psychology, but it takes practice, it takes movement, it takes doing it over and over again, putting yourself in uncomfortable positions to actually start enjoying it. And now once you start enjoying it, you start to realize that, hey, I'm the only person that has ever been in this place. I'm the only person that's ever touched this rock. I am seeing some amazing wildlife, but you have to be prepared to overcome your psychological boundaries. So the second tip I've got for you piggybacks off the first, and that's situational awareness. Mainly situational awareness in the water. You need to be able to build a mental picture of your surroundings because you can't often see them. So you need to understand where you've come from, what you're facing, where the crane is coming from, where the tool basket is, because at the end of the day, it's going to affect your ability to successfully complete tasks in the water, and it's also going to contribute to your safety, making sure that you don't get pinched between anything or you don't get snagged up on stuff. Now the next one's an obvious one, but I had to throw it in there, and that's common sense. Now the funny thing about common sense is it's not that common. It usually comes through experience on the job, but a lot of people have naturally got it and some people don't. Now, it's important to know that whenever you're doing a task, it needs to be thought out properly, and you need to have contingency plans for what exactly is going on and what happens if this happens and what happens if that happens. Always find your escape route and understand the job completely before you undertake it. In other words, think about what you're doing. The next tip is a key element to success in this industry, and that is being proactive. Always be the first person to get your hands dirty and stuck into a job, and approach everything with a can-do attitude. Have your tools ready to go and make sure you're dressed in your dive gear, ready to jump before even being asked. It's just professional. Tip number 5 is being attentive to every aspect of the job. Knowledge is power. Make sure you're involved in the setup, make sure you're involved in the discussions, make sure you're involved in everything that happens with anything that's going to go subsea. You really do need to have your mind on the job and focus on everything that is going on. Now, when you're on board, you build a reputation, and it's up to you what that reputation becomes. If you're someone that is attentive, proactive, someone who's always ready to get in the water, you're going to be asked on the next job. It really is that simple, and that is one of the secrets to success in this industry. We're getting through them now and we're on the back end. So my next one that I'm going to give you is safety. Safety, safety, safety. Think safety in every corner and in every aspect of this job. There's still a lot of people that are cutting corners out there, and the industry is slowly moving towards a safety culture, but it's up to you to look after number one. Make sure that you go home with all your fingers and toes and you look after your crew and your mates around you as well. Question everything. Now the next tip is a big one, and that is respect people's personal space. Offshore, you're working on DSVs and barges and sharing rooms or sat chambers with 2, 3, 4 other guys at a time. You need to be on top of personal hygiene. Personal hygiene is paramount when you're sharing a small space with other people. And that means cleaning up your hairs in the sink after you finish shaving, or tidying your bag away so that no one trips over it in your room, cleaning up in the galley after you've finished eating. You also need to respect other people's sleeping patterns. Those who are on opposite shifts, or those who just need to get their head down early, even if you're a night owl. Tiptoe around them, don't make too much noise, don't turn the lights on. It's about putting other people's comfort in front of your own for the sake of the team. So the next tip is, be friendly. It creates a strong team bond, and that team bond is something that is extremely valuable offshore. Now, you don't have to be friends with everybody, but you do need to build an element of camaraderie. These are the people that are going to be rescuing you or your support crew if shit hits the fan, so it's important that you are all on the same level. The better you get along, the more efficient your team will be. And the best thing is, you'll make some good friends along the way. The second to last tip I've got for you is communication, and communication at home more specifically. Now, when you get on a job and it's a high risk activity, you need to maintain 100% focus. In this line of work, we travel for a living, and we can be away for months at a time. If you've got issues going on in the background that takes your mind off of what you're supposed to be doing, it can affect the safety of yourself and the safety of the others around you. So you need to maintain that focus. Communication can be difficult when you're working offshore or when you're working in isolated places, but you need to make every effort possible to touch base with your loved ones to let them know you're okay. Now, the last one's an important one. But before I tell you, I'd love for you to hit that like button if you found this information helpful, and if you want to see more from Commercial Dive FAQ, then hit that subscribe. The last one is the most important in my eyes, and that is stay fit and healthy. Have you ever tried to complete a task that you don't have the right tool for the job? It's almost impossible. Now, your body is probably your most important tool, other than your brain, to getting the job done safely. Now, consider this example. You're swimming mid-water and you have to carry some heavy tools to a job. It might be 30 meters away, and you are finning and finning and finning against the tide, pulling your umbilical. Now, your fitness might be the key ingredient to whether you make it to that job and complete it successfully, or whether you get yourself into some serious trouble. Being out of breath in a dive helmet is the equivalent to suffocating slowly, and nobody wants that. Also, what condition do you want your body to be in your 50s and 60s? I know, personally, I want to be swimming circles around these young fellas. Thanks for watching.